And welcome one, welcome all to the pregame show on the CCIW Network. The Foresters of Lake Forest will be taking on the Firebirds of Carthage College, all on the CCIW Network. Live from Art Keller Field in Kenosha, Wisconsin. It's chilly. There's no other way to put it, but we're warm up here in the booth. It'll be intriguing to see how these conditions play out today. The Foresters 4-3 overall. The Firebirds 8-1, a near historic start to the season, including all those non-conference games for the Firebirds. Their only loss, a 9-8 thriller in overtime in a blizzard here in Kenosha. As for Lake Forest, they started out 2-3 overall on the year, but two back-to-back wins, a 16-10 win against MSOE at home on the 25th, and then a road victory versus Marion, 19-2. That was just a few days ago on the 28th on the road. Sees a now above 500 Lake Forest squad taking on the Birds of Carthage. Hello, everybody. I'm Peter Ferreri. Thank you for being with us on the Firebird Broadcasting Network. As mentioned, now part of the CCIW Network. Carthage on a roll. As mentioned, their only loss was that third game of the season. And when it looks at where they stand overall in conference play before conference play starts in the coming days, Carroll right now the only other one-loss team in the conference, the cream of the crop, alongside the Firebirds of Carthage College. Augustana not too far behind, but as you notice, Elmhurst with 4, Illinois Wesleyan with 4, and North Central with 2. So once conference play starts, top 4 teams make the postseason, so it will be a dead heat for who those top 4 will be once conference play starts in the CCIW. As for where these teams stand statistically between these two squads, for Lake Forest coming into the year, again, they are 4-3 overall, 1-3 on the road. They're averaging 13.1 goals a game, shot percentage 41, save percentage of 45, averaging 8 assists, just about 8 assists per game, 12.7 draw controls a game, 11.2 cause turnovers per game. Keep an eye on those two marks, and we'll explain why momentarily. Now let's jump over to the Pullman Auto Store statistics for the Carthage College Firebirds. 14.2 cause turnovers per game and 12 draw controls per game. It is often said that make it, take it lacrosse is your way to make it to a victory or take a victory. So will be the case between these two squads. Who will be the first team to find the advantage in the draw control circle, especially in these chilly conditions? Goals per game 13, so a very evenly matched contest between these two squads. Let's look now at the players to watch, brought to you by the Doctors of Physical Therapy of the Greater Kenosha area. As for Lake Forest, it's their leading goal scorer, Emma Sharp. She has 19 goals on the season, 18 assists. She's the offense. It starts and ends through her 39 shots. She has 6 caused turnovers, 2 draw controls, 8 ground balls as well, and has only had 3 fouls against her, so is 1 goal away from that 20-goal mark. Keep an eye on number 13. As for the Doctors of Physical Therapy player to watch on the flip side for the Carthage College Firebirds, well, who's going to be in charge of stopping all of those shot attempts? It's none other than number 44, Davale Vera, the goalkeeper for the Carthage College Firebirds. She has played in them all, started in them all, 46 goals against, but 48 saves, a .511 percentage. In these home conditions, they were warming up together before the game, and she will be more than ready. Sochi, the sophomore out of the local Indian Trail High School here in Kenosha, used to these conditions, used to this facility, used to this area, and let's see what she does against this visiting Forester squad. We'll take a time out, starting lineups as well as the national anthems coming your way on the CCIW Network.
At midfield, number 7, Gracia Munoz. At midfield, number 9, McKenna Bales. At midfield, number 11, Shanna Gibbons. 12, Ava Russell. At attack, number 13, Emma Sharp. At midfield, number 14, Abby Evans. At attack, number 25, Audrey Kroger. At attack, number 27, Avery Sorenka. In goal for the Foresters, number 15, Cecilia Adams. The head coach for the Foresters is Casey Ryan. They are assisted by Maya DeGeorge. Now, the starting lineup for your Carthage College Firebirds. At attack, number 2, Shannon Heischmidt. At attack, number 3, Augie Claridge. At attack, number 4, Rosie Nolan. At midfield, number 5, Hannah Kim. At defense, number 7, Sophia Winterkorn. At attack, number 8, Kylie Higgins. At midfield, number 13, Caitlin Goff. At defense, number 15, Denise Gehrig. At defense, number 16, Taylor Ruff. At defense, number 18, Isabella Kuyeva. At attack, number 19, Piper LaFever. And in goal for your Firebirds, number 44, Sochi De La Versa. The head coach for your Firebirds is Maddie Burney. She is assisted by Alessandra Almendarez. Fans, at this time, we ask you if you are able to please rise and honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
And welcome one, welcome all to the CCIW Network. We have a outstanding non-conference matchup. The Foresters of Lake Forest taking on the Firebirds of Carthage College. We appreciate you being with us. Lake Forest 4-3 overall the season. The Firebirds 8-1 overall. Their only loss a 9-8 thriller in overtime against UW Lacrosse on the 28th. It was a barn burner and it was a snowstorm, a whiteout condition. As for Lake Forest, as mentioned, on a 2-game winning streak against MSOE and Marion, looking to make it 3 in a row. Let's go through now the starting lineups here on the CCIW Network. Once again, I'm Peter Ferreri. Thank you for being with us this Wednesday evening in Kenosha. As for Lake Forest, they have Claire Amon alongside Ella Maher, Gracia Munoz, Ava Russell, and the head coach Casey Ryan in the third season at the helm, alongside number 27 Avery Serenka. Keep an eye out for her on the attack, as well as Audrey Kroger and co. Head coach Manny Burney, former all-star athlete for the Carthage College Firebirds women's lacrosse program. She's at the helm. Heitschmidt, Claridge, Nolan, alongside Piper, Lefevre, the four horsemen, in charge of the Carthage College Firebirds offense, and of course Ingo Sochi de Valivera, alongside her Kayava, Ruff, Gehrig, and co. Thank you for being with us on the Firebird Broadcasting Network. As mentioned, now part of the CCIW Network. Piper Lefevre in for the draw control, the chilliest of conditions, 35, the wind's whipping, and we're going to have a fun one in Kenosha. And we are underway. Draw control taken away by the Foresters. Players for both teams, you will notice, wearing pants today. Not often that it gets to that point, but with all things considered, I understand. Back to X after the turnover goes the Carthage College Firebirds. Lefevre shifts sticks on the near side, as not only does she now man the draw control, but she's also one of the leading attackers on the squad. Second in the team in goals, Augie Claridge with 32, Lefevre with 19. Addison Dale on the defensive side. Isabel Burgee on the mid out of McHenry. Hopping around, Cecilia Adams, the goalkeeper out of Cleveland Heights, Ohio. On the ground it goes, and the Foresters trying to come away with it, but Lefevre gets it up in time to Augie Claridge, 40 remaining on the shot clock. Staunch pass to the near side, looking for the one touch down low, saved by Adams, and the defense will turn into offense for Lake Forest. As mentioned, with Hannah Kim in the starting lineup, took a hit in a recent contest, but she, of course, has not only done an outstanding job, but also Hannah Kim is the Defensive Student Athlete of the Week in the CCIW Conference. That was announced just 48 hours ago. A senior from Aurora, Colorado, helped the Birds defense limit the opposing team, and from point blank range, she heard us saying her name, the Firecracker. Hannah Kim delivers the opening goal. She matriculated her way to the near side of the cage. The goalkeeping of Adams couldn't adjust in time, and we have a 1-0 start for Carthage in this night contest. As we look at where these two teams were the last time they played each other, March the 22nd, 2025, it was a Lake Forest victory, 17-11. They led 12-7 at half. They both scored one in the third, and then they really pulled away, outscoring Carthage 4-3 in the fourth. It is a series tied 2-2 overall. Carthage, losing the last two, would like to stop that losing streak. So a lot of streaks at play here, cradling past the midfield mark after the draw control victory. We're waiting to see what that number is. So we have on the offensive side, Shannon Gibbons out of Stoughton, Wisconsin. Ella Maher, and it's a takeaway, a cause turnover by Caitlin Goff. Some have said the rumblings that this is the team to beat out of the CCIW. The pass in, dodging to the right is Augie Claridge. She looks back toward X, passes off, and the offense, including Lefevre, will set up for the Birds. Kelsey O'Brien, the freshman out of OPRF High School, a true key contributor early on for the Birds. Claridge sets up to the aforementioned O'Brien. She looks left. The pass off. Claridge gets the slide at the top. She hits the ground. Will contact be made? They're saying no, she was falling first. The Foresters take over possession. They have numbers. Ride won't tough ride. And taking it right back potentially, and indeed, is Caitlin Goff. Caitlin Goff showing no mercy and no fear in the ride, is coming off his Wintercorn. As we saw in the replay, Birds up 1-0 just about 3.5 into the opening frame of action. Claridge calls for it. The defense, a soft man, it seems, temporarily. Actually, it's a zone, a 3-2 along the right-hand side. The slide comes through where need be. Rosie Nolan squirts her way back, and now running up from X, the turn, the burn, the goal. Shannon Heitschmidt drilling her way to the back of the net, and the Birds quickly up 2-0 against the Foresters. Lake Forest in the road blacks with red numbers and letters, white trim. The Birds in their home whites, and a timeout called quickly by the Carthage College Firebirds, by Lake Forest, as they trail early on in this contest. As we see the new lights display here with the newer LED lights at Art Keller Field. And if you're interested in being a Firebird, if you're interested in applying to Carthage, take the next step in your educational journey with Carthage College. The admissions process is simple. Whether you're an undergraduate, transfer, graduate, or international student, visit carthage.edu/apply for details or contact the admissions team, 800-351-4058 or admissions@carthage.edu. We look forward to welcoming you to the Firebird family. 2-0 your score. Early and often is the scoring for Carthage. Hannah Kim on the first goal. Let's take a look at goal number 2. Great job by the replay crew. Again, a fully student-produced broadcast here on the CCIW network. They just caught Shannon Heitschmidt. She was hanging out in X, and the defense was caught watching, understandably so, along the near side, Kylie Higgins, and Higgins just kind of squirted off to the front, hopped her way back, drew the defender very quickly to where she was standing, and then immediately, bang, popped it right back to Heitschmidt, quickly jumping up from X, and that's one of the challenges with the zone that plays and rides a bit more high to the 12 instead of back toward X, and that's exactly what the doctor ordered, a quick start for the Carthage College Firebirds. Now, Lake Forest, again, they have won the past 2 times they've met this very team, one of those games at this very stadium. So, you know they have the wherewithal, you know they have the senior leadership, Dulith Khan, one of the seniors, as well as Imani, one of the other starters at the midfield position, Shannon Gibbons, one of the seniors, Cecilia Adams, the goalkeeper, one of the seniors as well. A lot of senior leadership for Lake Forest. Let's see if they can bounce back after that early timeout. Again, Maya DeGeorge, Casey Ryan in their 3rd season at the helm for the visiting Foresters. Carthage regains possession after the draw control. Piper Lefevre, as mentioned, the leaders of this squad, the 4 horsemen of Heitschmidt, Claridge, Nolan, and as well as Piper Lefevre, they score, and they can score often. Another attempt, that works its way back, and immediately the defense turns into offense for the Foresters. Hannah Kim coming up strongly from behind, trying to get the stick into the lane. Challenging back is Augie Claridge, trying to get in the lane. A strong ride as before for Carthage, and they come away with another caused turnover. Lake Forest has not had a chance so far. The ride is playing at another level, but that taken away now by Lake Forest as they battle back and forth for possession. Carthage now comes away with it as that works its way to the far sideline, and coming back onto the field of play, Kelsey O'Brien, and she will lead the attack. So Claridge off to the near side. Heitschmidt usually hangs out back at X. Lefevre on the right wing. Kim starts making her way back to that secondary player at X. And the Birds dodging, losing the handle on the cradle. Underneath, trying to pick and flick to no avail, is Augie Claridge. So the freshman Kelsey O'Brien tried to ride through, or should say break through, the slide attack, and that might be a whistle. And that's going to be a cross-check from behind, and an easy whistle against the Firebirds. Let's see if that's a card issuance, however. And indeed it is, so that will be against the Birds, number 13, Caitlin Goff out of Park Ridge, Illinois. Passing ahead now, Abby Evans out of Houston, Texas. Stretch pass to the 20-yard line. Again, multi-purpose facility here at the newly renovated Art Keller Field. Just had new turf put on recently. One of the best in the conference. Off to the left side, Lake Forest now setting up on the offensive. So far today, De Valivera has not had to have a save. That one will work its way back, and De Valivera will chip it away, and possession will stay with Lake Forest. She thought she might be able to pick it up in time. A little bit of risk. It's Lake Forest now back. Looking for the crisp pass inside, loses the handle. On the ground it goes. The scoop, the one touch, the grounder opportunity. That'll work its way far, and Lake Forest should hold on to that possession. Yet again, they do, as a flock of geese fly low. Don't know, I believe the camera caught that one. I saw like 5 hawks on Sunday driving by, so it's the Aviation Society here along Sheridan. The overpass, and that should make its way all the way to being out of play. It actually won't, so it'll slow down these chilly conditions, has slowed down the pace of play. Pass over to the top in stride. Pushing through, you see a lot of players wearing gloves, some not. Goal! 3-0 the start. Shannon Heitschmidt again, the root canal. Second goal of the day for Heitschmidt. She is up to 12 goals on the season. And Carthage, a team feeling themselves early on in this contest, 7:50 to go in the first. As mentioned, Carthage has not won against this Foresters team since 2023, March the 29th. It was a 16-7 win on the road in Lake Forest, Illinois. As in 2024, a victory for the Foresters, 12-8, and a 17-11 victory a year ago. The last time Carthage won the game, Heitschmidt had a goal and an assist, 3 goals by Elizabeth Oda, 6 goals by Maddie Burney, the head coach now, 3 for Lefevre, 3 for the all-time great of Rachel Harris, truly one of the best to ever lace him up for the Carthage College Firebirds. But those 16 goals were more than enough to come away with a victory over the Foresters. They have not won since. So in 3 calendar years, the Birds now up 3-0, a much different start than the last time these two teams met. The goalkeeper that last time out for Carthage, of course, Alessandra Almendarez, one of the best goalkeepers, arguably the best goalkeeper in the history of Carthage College, now the assistant head coach and goalie coach. As for Lake Forest, it is a completely new offensive squad. Since then, Cecilia Adams did have 4 saves in relief of that contest, as that one works its way past, as we'll see on the replay with 6:50 to go, how that quick offense having. You see Kylie Higgins drawing the defender of Imani. Pass to the inside, the one touch, Claridge. And again, somebody's always open. That time it's Heitschmidt. She goes high right shelf and drives it home. Great job of the replay crew. On the ground it goes. Kick save. Near side. Looks to make a run. Throttles back and gets it up ahead to Heitschmidt. Shannon Heitschmidt, the pride of Marist High School and the Red Hawks, wanted to keep it her collegiate career with birds and the color red. I say that in jest. Did not pick up a lacrosse stick till a summer camp after 8th grade, and is now one of the best in the CCIW just, more or less 8 years later. Just shows the growth of the sport and the high coaching level she received at the high school ranks, and immediately transitioned here to the collegiate side. Setting up on the far flank 5.5 and change to go in the opening frame of action. It's been all birds. Claridge calls for the near side, and of course Claridge, one of the leading goal scorers in the nation at the Division III level, and why is that bear mentioning? She is scoreless so far, hasn't needed to score because the rest of the party has joined in, and the slide has constantly kept their eye on number 3, and she's just been able to provide assist after assist. Floats it. Point blank. Do it again. Rock and roll for Rosie Nolan. Goal number 20 on the season. She is now the second leading goal scorer for Carthage College. Rosie Nolan, the senior out of Mother McCauley High School. Of course, ironically, a high school rival of one Shannon Heitschmidt, and now teammates for the last 4 years. And it just shows the camaraderie, the leadership. The past, the present is now in front of us before our very eyes, what Carthage is able to do. And we spoke twice thus far about that singular loss for the Carthage College Firebirds, and that just bears mentioning. They had a lead in that game, but that when the weather conditions worsened, their opponent, understandably and rightfully so, Wisconsin Lacrosse, they just started peppering as many shots as possible, and because they kept playing make it take a lacrosse, had those opportunities, tied at the end of regulation, and then brought it into overtime. Kim, Nolan, and 2 for Heitschmidt. As we take another look, holding onto it, looking for the outlet pass, was Kylie Higgins. Rolls back to X. The defense shifted, and again, the cognizance, the awareness, as you see, Claridge drew the double, couldn't get over in time, and Rosie Nolan point-blank goal. Grounder back at X. Who else gets it? The defender of the week, Hannah Kim, on a full throttle sprint up the far sideline. The 50, the 40, the 30, the 20, passes back to the 10. Got to use the numbers and have a little fun. 4-0. Your score, Carthage trying to make it 5 in the first. The defense hasn't been able to stand tall thus far against the Carthage College Firebirds. Foresters, they've had the initial slide. They just haven't been able to get a stick in the lane to stop that pass down to X, down to the crease. Carthage has taken advantage. Again, Augie Claridge out of Wheaton Warrenville has not had to be the one finding the back of the net. Neither has Lefevre. They've been on the assist category, that point guard position. Inside, right past the right side of the goal, and smart play by Roland. Nolan looks for the point blank. Claridge dodges in. She looks bottom left corner. Can't find it. Heitschmidt on the spot. 3:20 to go in the first. As the temperature continues to drop, and that's going to be a shooting space, as hitting the ground hard is Augie Claridge, and we are to have our first free position of the evening in Kenosha, and easy to say, not many you'd want in that position than one of the best in the nation. Over the crossbar to no avail. 13 on the shot clock, down to 10. Carthage has to fire. They got to fire quick. The give, the go, the goal! The gnarly goal for number 19. Joining into the fun, who else? Piper Lefevre, goal number 20. She's now tied for second on the team with Rosie Nolan. Again, Lefevre, Heitschmidt, part of the early success of their career as true freshmen. You thought that could be a peak, as we mentioned with Almendarez, as we mentioned with the likes of Hannah Kim early on in her career. They have now moved up the ranks, are a senior in their own right, and taking it in the circle now, number 9, Reggie Ross for the Firebirds, the freshman out of Cumming, Georgia. Carthage has come to play. Ground control picked up off the one hop. Who else? Caitlin Goff. As we take a look at the replay, all set up this time yet again, Kelsey O'Brien, and that's the success of the Birds. Those senior leaders making the impact, and the freshmen contributing when it needs to be. A absolute dime of a pass for O'Brien through the sea of sticks. 10 seconds to go. That wasn't like there's 30. It's 10 seconds. The give, the go, and the goal. 5-0 lead for Carthage. A team possessed as that works its way back to X, but on the spot, Kim. One touch to the near side. Claridge tries to dodge in. She gets the pass off. The spin. Heitschmidt can't find what she's looking for, and it'll reset up the defense for the Foresters, and a whistle, and we're going to have a shooting space called. So contact on the near side. Conversation amongst the officials currently. So it's going to be Claridge, one hash to the right. Can she find? That one goes a bit too far to the right. She had the step on Cecilia Adams, but went bottom left corner, couldn't find it. But that's a smart play. High to low. Don't keep it at the same stick length. Make it easier for the goalie. Resetting up to the top is Higgins, the senior out of Algonquin, Illinois. The defense has been challenged, for lack of a better term. The grounder kicked to the near side, and the Foresters coming away with it. Pass will be off the one hop. Lake Forest has not had the offense that many have expected, again in winning back-to-back contests. And the ride successful again. Claridge, one touch to the near side to Higgins, and the Birds off to the races. Lefevre will come back onto the field of play. Higgins getting challenged vehemently on the near side by Ava Russell. Kim looking to the top. Claridge, Lefevre holds on to the possession as we speak. The remaining time of this possession will be credited to the Birds, and they will start off period number 2 with 57 seconds to go and a chance to make it a 6-0 lead. All Birds in the first, 5-0 over the Foresters. We'll be back on the CCIW Network. Welcome into the CCIW Network's coverage of NCAA Women's Lacrosse, one of the top teams in their respective conference in the non-conference world. The Carthage College Firebirds, one loss on the season in overtime, 9-8 to UW. Appreciate you being with us this windy Wednesday evening in Kenosha. You know, I say in just a week ago today, high 60s, and families are walking around in t-shirts and shorts, and it's Kenosha. It's the first day of April, and this indeed calls us a fool for what we would have expected, if anything better. Augie Claridge hits the deck. She gets a stick in the way. That pass will crisply, however, get to the teammate of Ella Maher. Will that roll all the way out of play? It will not. Canale. She gets challenged as the ride continues on. Shannon Heitschmidt in the game as well. 27, Avery Sorenka, the sophomore out of Plainfield, Indiana. The challenge of the ride continues on. McKenna Bales, the freshman out of Otter, Montana, in the game. And Lake Forest once again turns it over. And a full sprint near side, and that's been what Carthage has been able to do. The misguided pass. Goff looked for the outstretched stick of teammate Higgins, but Higgins was going right, and she threw it just a hair behind her. A rare error today for the Birds. Coming up from behind is Heitschmidt looking for the challenge. A trap now, no place to go. Triple team the underhand pass, and that's how you cleanly get a ride going. The overpass and trying to scoop it up on the go. Gets up into the air. Nowhere to go with it. Still trying to scoop and go. Hannah Kim makes the kick, and it will go the way for Lake Forest. Quickly on the run. Sifting through. Trying to make the shift is number 18, Isabella Kuyeva, out of White Bear Lake, Minnesota. We're going to have a conversation amongst the officials. Sure if it's going to be a card issued. Might be a reset of the shot clock. Well, nonetheless, looks like it's, so they're going to put 78 seconds on the shot clock, or do they completely reset it? Waiting for it. Waiting for it. Waiting for it. They're going to move it to 52 seconds. So they're going to say that Lake Forest had possession long enough that it wasn't a reset when they crossed midfield, that they had it prior. Lake Forest looking for goal number 1, looking for shot number 1 of the evening. The touch, looking for the grounder, loses possession. Left side, the slide comes over, the triple slide. Carthage playing fast, and I don't mean to continually laud the Firebirds. It's just offense and defense combined has been absolutely fantastic. There's the touch for the short turnaround. Devale Vera doesn't have to make the deflection, and making the run on the near side is Kuyeva. Kuyeva challenge. Here comes the ride, trying to pass it up ahead. Kuyeva kicks it off the ground, and trying to pick it up is Bales. Now streaking ahead is Munoz out of Cottage Grove, Minnesota, coming into the Visitation School High. Can the Foresters find a shot? It is easier said than done, it seems, today against the Birds' defense. Swinging to the far side of X. The touch inside. That's the chance, and it clanks off the pipe. Devale Vera challenged by the ride back at X. She shifts near side, looks for some place to go. Stretch pass up ahead. Is it able to clear? The answer is yes. Losing the handle. Always hard to keep onto the handle and the cradle in the colder conditions because that netting hardens up inside of the stick, so there's not as much give. So it kind of bounces off like a tough baseball glove that hasn't been broken in. Heitschmidt now streaks up the near side. Inside, the spin, Lefevre high, Lefevre low, and the save by Cecilia Adams. Hannah Kim turns on the afterburners and immediately gets onto the spot. My goodness, the speed she has. From behind, rolling out a play, trying to run it down, able to do so as Winterkorn now peels back to be on the defensive. So Lake Forest has had more offensive possessions, and they officially are up to one shot. Can they find another? The pass in, Dodge. Bottom right side, can't find the back of the net, is Ella Maher out of London, New Hampshire, out of Proctor Academy. Challenge from behind. The ride strong for Lake Forest, but we do, I believe, have the first green issued, and indeed we do. First ride, green card issued. Carthage will have a player up opportunity now for 60 seconds as Dolith Khan out of Lane Tech on the north side of Chicago was issued the green. Off the one hop. Oh, not able to hold on to it as O'Brien. She took a step in front, or I should say a step ahead whilst looking for the next pass. Couldn't quite get it cleanly into the netting. Trying to make up for that is O'Brien. She's trying to fight through. Nowhere to go. Maher triple teamed, but able to find the outlet pass. Cutting back inside. The defense playing strong. Winterkorn. Far flank. 9 minutes to go in half number one. Carthage 5-0 in the first. Have not scored in the second. Neither has Lake Forest in this game. Back at X to maintain possession is Serenka. Pass to the near side is Munoz. And just like that, the Birds regain possession. Up ahead to Claridge. Birds have numbers. On the run. Passing through. No doubt about it. Rosie Nolan. And everything's coming up roses for the Carthage College Firebirds. Goal number 2 on the evening for Nolan. Carthage in the groove. The hits just keep on coming for a preseason favorite in the CCIW, and you can see why. In the circle now for Lake Forest, Dolith Khan, the 5'11 senior. She'll be matched up against the freshman Reggie Ross. Ross flicks it, far sideline, trying to run it down. Good body contact for the two squads. As we take another look at this fast break goal. Claridge, wide open spaces. The defense of Canale peels off, understandably so, and they left Nolan with a no-doubter. Lake Forest looking for goal number 1. We're going to have a shooting space called against the Birds. I believe it's going to be against Winterkorn. Won't be a free position, or will it be? Okay, so will be a free position. One Click to the left. The shot, bottom left corner, no go, and who gets it? Carthage gets it. On the spot, Kieva. She says, yeah, yeah, yeah. High IQ play, back at X. The speed at which it came through, she just got that stick back to where it needed to go. As she brings it up on the left flank, or she brings up the right flank, I should say. Far sideline, O'Brien now with possession. 6-0 Birds. Can the defense find another stop for the Foresters? They've done stellar so far in the second half, only allowing one. Moving off to the left side is O'Brien. Peeling back, Claridge, Lefevre. Can't quite hold on to it. Ross staying into the game. 9v9 as she gets Bales to retract with her. Lefevre matched up with Maher. Far side of X. Looking for the one touch. Nolan can't quite hold on to it. And great job defensively. Canale running up and flicking that one away. That's a great defensive stop for Lake Forest. MVP of that possession, Canale, out of Pasadena, California, and the School of the Immaculate Heart. Birds back on offense. The pass, dodging left is Claridge. She switches righty to lefty. That's blocked away. On the ground it goes, and Adams finally gets the stick on it to flip sides. The shooting for Carthage has been good. Lake Forest, goal number 1 is eluded them thus far, but if they get the first, that's what gets the monkey off the back and can string together maybe a little bit of a run with 5:45 to go in the opening half of action. Looking for the pass, coming away with it is Carthage. On the full sprint, Birds have numbers. Again, the way their offense is able to quickly get back. Heichschmidt puts on the afterburners on the near sideline. She immediately works her way back to X. Hannah Kim joins into the party, Piper Lefevre and co. Defensively, Abby Evans out of Houston, Texas. Let's see what she's able to do. Dodging in back to X, Heichschmidt. Heichschmidt looks to the far side, finds over the top to Rosie Nolan. It's a non-conference matchup, but a lot on the line mentally for both these squads. The Foresters have had their way with the Birds the last 2 years. Carthage trying to prove themselves in this fun non-conference NAC v CCIW matchup, to the elite conferences for lacrosse in the region. Claridge inside, left side, no doubter for number 4, the hat trick, Rosie Nolan. And it just keeps happening now for the Carthage College Firebirds. Goal number 6, now goal number 7. Augie Claridge comes away with the assist. Folks, as mentioned numerous times, victories for Lake Forest in the last 2 non-con matchups. We are 3 goals away from a running clock. We're coming off a week where Gibbons named the Athlete of the Week for Lake Forest. That senior midfield, she doubled her previous career high with 6 goals, but it is all offense. It's that one touch. It's that zone defense slides and the movement off ball for Carthage. My goodness. If you're the opposing teams in the CCIW, this is the game film you're going to watch and scratch your head and say, how do we stop that? One of the Birds is on the ground. It might be Hannah Kim. She's slow to get up, but hopping it off. 7-0. Kim kind of shaking off that right ankle. Ava Russell redirecting teammate Abby Evans out of the Village School. And it looked like Kylie Higgins kind of telling the three amigos at the point to spread out. Heitschmidt back to Higgins. Looking for the touch. Left side at the 8. Nowhere to go. Having to retreat. Good defensive stand on that first approach. O'Brien resets. High pass to Lefevre. Talked about the growth and development in this program. As a freshman, Lefevre, already one of the best in the conference. She, now of course, one of the senior leaders, but doesn't have to be the entire offense. You can't stop them all. The run, the shot, block off the midsection, but Carthage regains possession. Who else? Heitschmidt. The one touch in, on the ground, the scrum works its way back to Cecilia Adams. The turnover. Birds back on offense. Peeling off is Claridge. O'Brien. Lefevre. Hands off to the left. Claridge resets up at point. O'Brien now looks down low, and is that going to be a card issued? Some of the Boo Birds getting quite vocal as it looks to be number 12, Ava Russell, will be booked for that penalty. The trainers are going to come out. We're going to take a quick timeout, make sure everybody's okay. We'll be back 7-0 with 1:47 to go until halftime on the CCIW network. We're back. Free position. Trying to ground hog it, not able to do so. That was Hannah Kim. that is now on the sideline. She was able to walk off, as you saw, under her own accord. She is on the sideline now being tended to trainers. We will give you any update when we're able to do so. For all we know, it could be just the wind knocked out. We have no updates at this time, but making sure she's okay. Claridge takes what I believe is her first shot of the evening, and that's a clean save by Adams. Pushing the pace, looking right, dodging back to the right. And one of the Foresters now is going to hit the ground. So there's 60 seconds remaining on the penalty against Ava Russell. Clock stopped 57 seconds in that penalty. And are they going to call one now against a Firebird? I believe they're calling a trip. So it won't be a free position, but it'll be a foul against the Birds, no penalty. So Lake Forest now will have possession with 38 seconds until halftime. So they'll have to get a shot off within that time, so don't worry about the shot clock. About a 11-second differential between the penalty clock and the game clock, and that just bears mention because that's the amount of time Lake Forest is going to have to fire off a shot before half, being a player down. Dodging in the triple slide. Birds have the defensive advantage, the turn, and the shot, and there's goal number one. 11 ticks to go until halftime, and Lake Forest on the board. Excitement abounds for the Foresters as they say, finally, Ashley Kroger out of Hazlet, Michigan gets goal number one. Kroger, that is goal number 9 on the season for number 25. And tip your cap. I mean, they were a player down and found the shot. And that is as tough as it can be in terms of the situation at hand. Piper Lefevre sends it up into the Kenosha sky. Picked out of the sky by Lake Forest with 5, with 4, switching left hand to right hand with 1. Inside, not enough time for a shot. And that will end half number 1. Birds still with a 6-goal lead, 7-1 against the visiting Foresters of Lake Forest College. We will take a timeout. Take a rest, get a breather, get a bevy, come on back. Don't know why I said a bevy, but we went with it anyway. Lake Forest, can that be the momentum they need? We said the monkey off the back to get into half number 2 and find their way back. Fun non-conference matchup on a Wednesday. Carthage up 7-1 over Lake Forest. back. Half number 2 on the CCIW network, a bit earlier than the 10-minute mark. The officials deciding, because of the frigid temperatures, to go with a 5-minute halftime. Coaches agreed. Nobody went to the locker room. The only thing that changed is birds can have a sigh of relief while flying in the blustery winds of Kenosha. Hannah Kim back on the field, and the birds get the draw control. So Lefevre gets the draw control. She'll come and swap sticks, and Carthage will go right back onto the offensive. Hello, everybody. Peter Ferreri here on the CCIW network. Hat trick for Nolan, 2 for Heitschmidt, 1 for Hannah Kim, 1 for Piper Lefevre. 7-1 is the goal differential, and the goal for Audrey Kroger scored with 11 seconds to go until halftime. At the top is indeed Augie Claridge. There's a 7-0 run to start the contest. 5-0 at the end of 1. 2 more in the second. So Birds were 3 away from a running clock. Now they'll need 4 to hit that point. The turn, that will work its way to the far right, but back at X was Carthage Augie Claridge. Will get the in pass, and she gets for the grounder. And Augie Claridge answers fast. Goal number 33 on the season. Shakes her head, does a little dance. Get down tonight. So as mentioned, the Birds had given up 1 with 11 ticks to go, and they get that back in short order. 65 seconds into the third. As you see the light show. Here again, it throws me off sometimes. Off to the right side, running it down. A slide, and looks to be okay, is Kylie Higgins. That could be challenging based on where the footing goes. But nonetheless, we continue on. 8-1 your score. As we take another look at the goal. Heitschmidt stretches up for Claridge, but she dodges left, right, and goes low. In essence, because of where the pass was and the defender trying to get a stick in the lane, that's what kind of caused the opportunity for Claridge to beat the first defender. And I believe the shot clock didn't start, and so now they're going to have to decide how much to put on the given shot clock. 7-goal lead for Carthage. We're going to move that 90 down to 84. And the clocks can start to click now. The official having a conversation on the near side with Kylie Higgins. So we're about 60 seconds away from reaching the 1 hour mark. Since the opening draw. Now they've put the clock back to 80. I believe they just let the clock roll for 10 seconds before stopping, and now, so the game clock will move to 13 and the shot clock will move to 56. There's a lot going on. So the game clock went from 90 to 82 to 80 to 56. We're underway. Claridge gets the slide. Passes off Lefevre. Inside. Heitschmidt looks high to low. Good save. Cecilia Adams putting a stop to it. Only other game in action tonight is Carroll versus the University of Chicago and the Maroons. One of the best perennial powerhouses in the lacrosse game. We'll get that score in a moment. run up ahead to get into the attacking third is Gracia Munoz. Defense continues to slide left and right and right and left. Taylor Ruff doing a good job defensively. Haven't said her name since the intros, and is often said, the likes of her and Denise Gehrig, if you don't say their name on the defensive side, they're doing it right. So Devali Vera now tries to float it in, able to get it there just in time, and up the left flank goes Ruff. Ruff isn't challenged as she approaches the attacking third. She's still looking for an outlet pass, and finally tosses off to Higgins as she'll peel back toward the mid. And that out-of-town scoreboard we'll have more on that in a minute. Looking for the pass in. Hopping. Can't find the goal. The passes have been there, but the defense has become much more staunch around the goalie crease. Carthage having an outstanding go of it for sure. Trying to avenge the back-to-back losses. Haven't won since 2023 against this Lake Forest squad. After today, this is the final non-conference game of this stretch. They take on Augustana this Saturday for Senior Day. High goal delivers. Are they going to wave it off, though? So I believe the goal will stand, and there'll be a card issued. So chalk up the next goal for Augie Claridge. Waiting to see what the official call is off of that. So yeah, not quite sure what the penalty is, or we'll get there. But the goal, Claridge unassisted. So it's going to be a yellow card. And that's going to be on Ella Maher out of New London, New Hampshire. So she's booked 2 minutes from the yellow card. And that will be how this next go starts. So it is a 9-1 lead now with 10:10 to go in the third. It is all birds. But as mentioned, after today, this Saturday, Senior Day, 1 o'clock at Arkell Field. The next Wednesday, it'll be the Maroons of the University of Chicago taking on the Carthage College Firebirds here in Kenosha. That is always a fun one. Last time they met, April the 5th, a year ago, in Chicago, that was a 24-6 win for U Chicago. And when I say they're one of the best in the nation, they're one of the best in the nation year after year. I will say I had the opportunity and pleasure to get my D3 start with the Maroons and the likes of Illinois Tech. As we take another look at the goal. Again, Lefevre did that little bit of a jab step, gets it to Claridge. She then sees the lane. They didn't slide this time. Oh, I mean, that's just off. That's short side, stick high. There is hardly any in the nation who could stop that from the angle she's able to find. So the final between the Maroons and the Pioneers of Carroll in Wisconsin, University of Chicago won 19-8. So that'll give Carroll its second non-conference loss of the season. Chicago 7-4 overall. Possession. They are changing it and giving it back to Lake Forest, just to show how good the Maroons can be. They had a early season scrimmage against Division I Marquette. They lost 24-5, but they scored 5 against the D1 program in Milwaukee, in the bubble. That just shows how good of a program that is. They then went on a nice run. Lost against number 13, Pomona, 17-10. Lost against number 3, Tufts, and at MIT. And yeah, back to the topic at hand. It's another goal for the Birds. Hype train continues. Number 4, Rosie Nolan. 4 goals for number 4 as Hannah Kim all smiles. So the party continues in Kenosha. It is now believed to be 10-1. 4 for Nolan, 2 for Claridge, 2 for Heitschmidt, 1 for Kim, and 1 for Lefevre. And Rosie Nolan, what an impact she has had. And when this team is firing on all cylinders, when this team is healthy, it's hard to double team anybody because somebody else is going to immediately step up. Carthage now 1 goal away from the running clock. As we take a look in the replay again, as I was expounding on what Chicago has done, the pass, and that is as easy as you can make it. That's just like old school cherry picking. If they're not going to defend her, she's open. Now, the goal for Lake Forest, of course, is to score some goals. Can they at least get 1 to soften the opportunity, or to, I should say, harden the opportunity for Carthage to get to that running clock? Because the running clock is what really differentiates a team's opportunity to win, because then you're not only playing against the scoreboard, you're playing against the clock, which some may say on the scoreboard, but you get my point. Ill-advised pass, but they're going to say violation against the Birds. Free position now. As mentioned, Lake Forest would love nothing more than to find goal number 2. The hop step right into the net of De Valivera. She says nada. Up ahead, Hannah Kim back in the contest. She puts on the speed. I laugh a bit. I don't know if anybody heard that through the microphone, but somebody in the stands just yelled, "She's so fast." Indeed, she is. Lefevre. Over the top to O'Brien. Under 6 to go in the third. 3 goals scored in the third. Make it 4. Shannon Heitschmidt, crown 'em. The hat trick for number 2. She delivers again. So Shannon Heitschmidt, number 2, gets goal number 3. And that, indeed, should yield the running clock. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, the Carthage College Firebirds will have a running clock on a Wednesday evening against a Lake Forest squad. The assist by O'Brien. We will have have a running clock with 5:20 to go in the third. And now, twofold. If you're the Carthage College Firebirds, you want to get an insurance goal. You want to get that 11-goal lead so that way you can kind of hold on to that running clock. If you are Lake Forest, the goal is to score as fast as you can to stop the running clock. So that 11th or 9th goal, always so important. Higgins gets the draw control. She sprints down as we go split screen to look at the replay. Again, what O'Brien has done, just quickly finding Heitschmidt on the cut, and it was a double cut. So you saw Nolan going far to near to far was Heitschmidt. The defense, understandably slow, slid to the near side, and just like that, running clock for the Birds. On the near side, warming up to note, Carly Young. We'll see if anything transpires with her coming in the game. Winterkorn comes back in on the defensive. The spin at the top, Munoz. Looking to set up the offense is Shannon Gibbons out of Staunton, Wisconsin, as mentioned. The Foresters' Athlete of the Week. They'll need her and the rest of the team to rise to the occasion to stop the running clock under 4 to go. Looked for the one step, decided to pull back. Over the middle, looked for the ground Twizzler. Not there. And picked up by Kieva. Kieva also the poster child for today's game on the game day poster. Great job by the communications crew here in Kenosha. And the Foresters forcing the Birds out of play. That was number 16, Taylor Ruff, trying to make a run of it. And the defense on a clean ride, no green issued. And that's just old school women's lacrosse, forcing her trajectory out of play. And sometimes I think players are getting used to getting the whistle, and it just forced her left foot out of play. Running clock. Can the Foresters stop it? Easier said than done with how staunch the defense has been for the Firebirds. The underhand pass, the side swipe, and the interception. Goff with the sprint. Pass up ahead to Claridge. Claridge, contact from behind, no whistle. Ball stayed in the stick. Claridge now fighting forward. It's a scrum and possession for the Foresters. They were not going to let Claridge get through cleanly again, as she has so often this evening. And de Valivera with the stop. An interception. Valivera retreats back into goal. The touch, near side, grounder and a goal. A back and forth scrum. And use the volleyball term, a little bit of a free ball action. Just both teams trying to find some footing in that one more touch. Will stop the running clock for the Foresters with 1:57. So excellent composure for Lake Forest as they find goal number 2. I believe we're going to have a timeout on the field. All smiles is Dolith Khan. So 10 saves, 11 goals against for Adams, 4 save, 2 goals against for de Valivera. And Sharp is getting credited with the goal after she had an assist on the first. We mentioned Sharp, our player to watch, that is goal number 20, and let's take another look at the replay. So it went off the stick of the defender, number 15, Denise Gehrig. She immediately turned around, and she had the right idea. She lowered the stick to try to get it in the way of that grounder shot, but a split second faster is the leading goal scorer for Lake Forest, Emma Sharp. just like that. Now with the timeout, 11-2 your score, so clock will be stopped. And that's just what we said that Lake Forest needs to do. While we have a moment, we want to remind everybody this game brought to you by the Pullman Motor Group, proud sponsor of Carthage Athletics. Pullman Motors is dedicated to delivering excellence both on and off the field. Whether you need a reliable vehicle or exceptional service, Pullman Motors has you covered. Visit Pullman Motors in Kenosha or online at pullman.com. Eleven to 2. Appreciate you being with us on the Firebird Broadcasting Network, of course, now part of the CCIW Network. I'm Peter Ferreri. We're talking about the schedule up ahead for these two squads. As mentioned, U Chicago having a solid season. Carthage 0-9 against U Chicago, but that won't be game until next Wednesday the 8th. After that U Chicago game, it's a spattering of CCIW games to finish out the regular season. On the road, North Central, Illinois Wesleyan, Elmhurst, and then home against Carroll to finish the season. It goes fast, my friends. And if you look at conference play, one against each. So Augustana this Saturday, North Central April 11th, April 18th, the Titans, Illinois Wesleyan on the 22nd, and then back home April the 25th to finish out the regular season. Top 4 teams make the CCIW tournament. Highest seeded teams host that given game. And not to look too far ahead, but the CCIW semis Wednesday, April the 29th. With 1:05 to go in the third, Carthage regains possession. The turn, Claridge. Birds have numbers. They look to slow things down on the near flank. As long as that clock keeps running, they'll be more than content. They may even let it completely ride out, as they have about 25 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock, and so they could run out the third and still have 25 to pull off a shot at the beginning of the fourth. But knowing Coach Maddie Burney, she may say, if you're close enough, make that run. Here's the run, the turn, the pass, back to X. Nolan thought about taking the shot, 15 now left. Hannah Kim turns to the far side, 10 left. 5 ticks to go. Stretch pass all the way up ahead to O'Brien, and that'll be the end of 3. Carthage leads 11-2. They were up 11-1 and had the running clock. They are 15 minutes away from another non-conference victory in the first in 3 years against Lake Forest. We'll be back on the CCIW Network. We're back. The fourth and final frame on the CCIW network. Thank you for being with us on this Wednesday evening. Carthage. The sun rises, the sun sets, and Carthage gets a goal within the first 13 seconds of the fourth. The running clock has returned. And that is quick work for the Birds. As that goal for the true freshman, number 22, Kelsey O'Brien, goal number 17 on the season. We do have an update in men's volleyball. Ladies and gentlemen, the regular season is going to come down to this Saturday. The 8-1 Titans of Illinois Wesleyan hosting the 8-1 Firebirds of Carthage College. What a storybook season for Illinois Wesleyan. Top 4 teams make the postseason. That starts next Wednesday, the 8th. And so for all intents and purposes, next Wednesday, if Carthage is the 1 or Carthage in the 2, there will be home volleyball, but we'll get more on that as this game progresses. As we see Claridge looks for the cutter right over the top, and the height for number 22, Kelsey O'Brien out of Oak Park. Too much to handle. Kim with the flick to the 12. Lefevre. The pop fake, O'Brien couldn't get the handle. Grounder. At that 10-goal lead again. Can they extend it to that double? We mentioned it near the end of the third. And Lake Forest answered by getting that stopping clock goal. Far sideline now, looking for a gap. Running in. Plenty of time on the shot clock for the Foresters. And they want to score quickly, but want to get the best shot off to stop the clock. All the starters still in for Lake Forest. Good job back and forth at the far flank. Not allowing much at that 12. Misguided pass to Vera. Scoops it up back at X. She tries to get a clearing pass. She rolls it on the ground to the near side of Kiyeva. Kiyeva upside ahead. Goff on the run. Goff to O'Brien, and O'Brien sets up the offense. Birds have numbers, but they decide to slow it down. Again, it's chilly. No other way around it on the field. These players have done a marathon of running. O'Brien looks to set the screen. Anna Kim collects. Heitschmidt near X. She started off the scoring of the game. O'Brien tries to dodge back in. Slide comes over. Reset up for Claridge. One of the best defensive stands we've seen, but we are going to have a whistle, I believe. And they're going to give the free position to Claridge. Oh boy. This is that go-ahead. Grounder and a nice save by Adams. Claridge started her body low, kept stick waist high, still went low. Adams read it out. To your score, hat trick Heitschmidt, 4 for Nolan. Lake Forest 10.5 to go in the contest. Down by 10, and the law of lacrosse averages is you can come back with a goal a minute. However, it starts with 1. Won't happen there as Carthage will regain possession. And now time is on the side of the Birds. Talked about Hannah Kim, CCIW Defender of the Week. Staunch defense, lowering her head, nowhere to go is Kenosha. Kenosha loses the handle. Possession stays with Carthage. Heidschmidt setting up at that near X. Kim, player of the week, 9:15 to go, running clock. So now's where the Birds cannot, oh, that's a misguided pass, and that should make its way all the way out of play, and it does. I was just going to say, they can just milk the 60 and take a shot at the end, but it won't help that they tried that very long stretch pass to the far sideline into the lights to no avail. Carthage currently ranked number 4 in the nation in terms of men's volleyball. Recently had their senior day. Carthage back on offense after the caused turnover. Heidschmidt on the near side. Again, burrowing in and making her home back at X. Again, the final in Naperville. The men's volleyball squad winning 3-0 in the road sweep of North Central. It was a 5-set nail-biter just 2 weeks ago here in Kenosha between those two squads. Hannah Kim with the pump fake. And she'll go to the free position. Clock continues to tick. A chance for Carthage to extend and get that go-ahead of the running clock goal. False start. That is one less player, and Hannah Kim, the fastest player on the field. She takes a step. The laser beam for number 5. Fans on their feet, welcome to the Kim Show. The fireball from the Firebird. Hannah Kim, goal number 2, and that's why she's the reigning, defending, undisputed CCIW Player of the Week. In the face-off and draw control circle at the dot we go. As Reggie Ross can't come away with it, and a few players hit the turf. Possession going with Lake Forest, but now with that 11-goal lead, even if Lake Forest does make it take it Lacrosse, clock will still run. Hour and a half into real time. Scooping up the pieces like Baskin-Robbins. Sophia Winterkorn gets the turnover. Let's take another look at Hannah Kim. I mean, she just went right over the clavicle of the goalkeeper Adams. Another caused turnover that time against Hannah Kim. Mayer with the nice caused turnover, but scooping up the pieces out of center field is Kieva. Flick to the near side in the game now for the Carthage College Firebirds is Ari Solomon. Fever still in the contest. Ross now on the attack. Kim stays in. And we may have some subs coming as time continues to tick along in favor of the Birds. Brooke Bach, the freshman of Schaumburg, is in the contest. Here's those real-life reps we talk about. Trying to make the turn is Bach, and she gets a stick right along the rib cage. And that will knock the wind out of you. Let's see if Bach stays in. It looks like she's going to do it. Free position for Bach. Of course, you're allowed to get close. But it looks like the defense moved. They're going to rotate out where, of course, the defense can go. Bach, 3 steps, bottom left corner. That'll stay with Carthage. Bach looking for goal number 1 of her season. And of course, being a freshman, that means her career. So Lake Forest regains 4:15 in the game. Should all but do it, of course, for Carthage in this circumstance. But Lake Forest answers. Clock will continue to run. We said that's what's important, the insurance go ahead for Carthage. As number 7 will come away with the goal for Lake Forest. Munoz, goal number 7. Speaking about 7, it's been confirmed 7 o'clock next Wednesday will be first serve. Carthage College men's volleyball program will host a semifinal game in the CCIW tournament. Opponent TBD. Again, will they go in as the 1 seed or the 2 seed? We will find out Saturday. That's going to be a fun one on the road. And again, the heated one team and institution does not like the other. Illinois Wesleyan and Carthage, always the rivals in the CCIW, adding that now to the men's volleyball side. So we're going to have a card issued. Green card on Lake Forest. That looks to be Madison DeGeorge, I believe. Excuse me, that's number 5, Dolith Khan. My eyes are perceiving me this late at night. Back to Kim. 10-goal lead. As the fans are clamoring for the cheese curds. Of course, Culver's a perennial sponsor of Carthage, and that one will make its way to Adams. So Saturday, such an important game or day in Carthage athletics. It'll be the conference opener for women's and men's lacrosse. Women's will host Augustana. Volleyball will be at Illinois Wesleyan with the regular season and number 1 seed on the line. Carthage men's volleyball, of course, ranked number 4 in the nation. It's a fun season, folks. Illinois Wesleyan has never defeated Carthage in men's volleyball. Can this upcoming Saturday be the difference? Well, you're going to have to tune in. You're going to have phones, tablets, have your smart TV plugged in and going, because you're going to need a lot at once. his handle on the pass. 80 seconds to go in the contest. It has been all Carthage since the opening whistle. A 5-0 lead in the first, poked away at the last moment by Goff. Off the left side and running that down with 3, with 2, with 1. It didn't hit the post, wasn't a save. That would be a shot clock violation for Lake Forest, and with Hannah Kim in control and the speed she has, crisp pass to Lefevre. This should just be it. Will they try to get the one more goal? Inside, the shot in the goal! All smiles for the Birds. Number 9, RR, Reggie Ross. Goal number 8 on the year, and that should just about do it as the clock ticks down. With 3, with 2 and 1, that's going to be it. That's going to be all she wrote. The Carthage College Firebirds avenge their 2-year losing streak against the Foresters of Lake Forest with as convincing of a victory as you're going to find, a 14-3 win against Lake Forest. Let's crunch some of the final numbers overall between these two squads. 14-3, of course, the goal differential. 12-3 on the assists. 33-14 the shots. Here's the big one. 24-6 the shot on goal differential. 25 ground balls for the Birds, 15 for Lake Forest. 13 saves for Lake Forest to 4 of Carthage. And free custard on a chilly night for Culvers. We'll thank them in a moment. 8-7 your draw control differential, so fairly even between the two. 27 turnovers for Lake Forest, 17 for Carthage. 23 caused turnovers for Carthage to 15 for Lake Forest, and Carthage 23 out of 25 in their clear attempts. Let's look now individually amongst these two teams where they, of course, land in a 14-3 victory. 3 goals for Heitschmidt, hat trick. Claridge with 2, 4 for Nolan, 2 for Kim. Ross with 1, Lefevre with 1, O'Brien with 1. Draw controls, Goff coming away with 4, 2 for Claridge as well. Ground balls, Goff with 7. What an evening for her. Claridge coming away 9 shots, 6 on goal, 8 points with her 6 assists and 2 goals. As for Lake Forest, 14 goals against 13 saves for Adams. Munoz, Sharp, Kroger with the 3 goals. 4 draw controls for DeGeorge as the Carthage College Firebirds run to ring the bell. First time since 2023 they're able to do so against Lake Forest off to the left flank here on the CCIW network. And before we sign off, we want to, of course, thank, as you were hearing the chants, Culvers. Firebirds fans at every Carthage home event, you have the opportunity to win free Culvers coupons. You can walk away with a tasty treat like freeze cheese curds, or today, a scoop of delicious custard. Please note that the coupons are only valid at Culver's locations in Kenosha. Don't miss your chance to score big on and off the field. The next broadcast, Carthage versus Augustana. This Saturday, conference play starts April the 4th at 1 o'clock. It's a women's and men's doubleheader on the CCIW network, as we see here on the upcoming events on the CCIWnetwork.com. Tuesday, April the 7th, baseball versus Marion. And then Wednesday, we have the update. Women's lacrosse will welcome the Maroons of the University of Chicago at 6. And it's the men's semifinals for volleyball at 7 o'clock. Opponent, TBD. We want to thank you for being with us. For executive producer Mike Love, producer John Voinovich, as well as Addison at the directing helm, Morgan with graphics, and Riley and Ty on camera. Again, a fully student-produced broadcast. You can only find it on the CCIW network. This program has been a presentation of Firebird Broadcast Productions and Carthage College, copyright 2020. 6. Once again, I'm Peter Ferreri. The final 14-3 Birds over the Foresters. Thank you for being with us on this Wednesday evening.